that the President has turned the Uganda Human Rights Commission into a dumping ground for political failures, heavily indebted individuals, and sick people who act as liabilities. As sitting commissioners, do you consider yourselves political failures or liabilities to this nation?
But let me set the record very clear. Myself, I'm not a political reject. Altogether, remember, I'm well conversant to this subject of human rights.
I'm sorry to all those I offended, but please know I had been pushed to the edge.
The first one to the commissioners, is it true that in August 2024, the Canadian Embassy proposed an offer of $20 million to facilitate the activities of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, and that the same was rejected? Is that true? Secondly, Mr. Chairman, dear commissioners, your chairperson publicly stated, and I wish to quote verbatim, that the President has turned the Uganda Human Rights Commission into a dumping ground for political failures, heavily indebted individuals, and sick people who act as liabilities. As sitting commissioners, do you consider yourselves political failures or liabilities to this nation?
And see.
And now, how can the public trust an institution whose own leadership holds them with such contempt? Really, commissioners, are you that liability to this country? The last question, Mr. Chairman, commissioners Simeo Nsubuga, Kano Basaliza, and Commissioner Jacqueline Atohaire, you jointly petitioned the President and the Inspector General of Government, alleging systemic financial misconduct, abuse of office, and irregular decision-making under your chairperson, Madam Wangandya. Since you are appearing before us, the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, and I'm aware that this complaint has taken some time, have you come with audited accounts, audited evidence, so that you can submit it to us for further scrutiny? If you have that, kindly do supply us with such so that we can manage these matters effectively. I thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the time you have given.
Thank you so much. We are not.
On the 3rd of this month, it was Friday, our chairperson addressed a press conference where she labeled us, specifically 3 of us. Why am I saying so? Because out of the 6 members, it is myself, Honorable Basaliza, and Honorable Jacqueline, who are former members of Parliament. So she called us political rejects. The people should be thrown on the dusty bin.
But the Honorable Chairperson is also former pastor.
I said former members of Parliament. So, that His Excellency appoints us because we are political failures, which is completely wrong. To me, that was disrespecting the appointing authority, and undermining His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, who is the Commander-in-Chief. For your information, honorable members.
We are not. She even went one extra mile that some of us on ARVs. Members, can you imagine? You are heading a human rights body in a country. We are supposed to supervise to ensure that people access drugs. And you tell your fellow commissioners that on ARVs. To me, I think that was beyond. But let me set the record very clear. Myself, I'm not a political reject. Altogether, Member, I'm well conversant to this subject of human rights. I have a master's degree in human rights. I'm a research fellow of Makerere University on human rights. The 5 years I was in this parliament, I was a member of a standing committee of human rights. We used to look at these human rights annual reports, which the commissioner was presenting. Members, when I was in Uganda Police Force, it is on record. Myself and other senior police officers, like Johnny Kamia, Asani Kasinje, mentioned them, Kasima, we wrote a human rights training manual for Uganda Police Force. I did the same in Sudan. I did the same even in Somalia. So His Excellency, when he appointed me, together with these other members, he looked at my CV. So they always say that we are not rejects. Even if you have lost an election, members, you are very useful. Our senior here can be our witness.
Honorable Simeo, let's
as
go
I'm
to the
winding
next
up,
question.
this one for your information. Members, this morning I was looking at the constitutional commissions of this country. Majority members on those commissions are former members of parliament. So can we say those are political rejects? No.
A non-performance, they allege. Masters, BA, LLB, postgraduate, LDC. So really, when you political failures, on political failures, I left Parliament in 2006. 20 years on the road, I didn't compete even. So I'm not in politics. My senior counsel knows. So that was very unfortunate. I also add my voice that when she comes tomorrow, she should apologize. She should really apologize because that was so bad. I got a message from my daughter saying, Daddy, you want to kill mommy? Because I'm requesting a prayer, that Daddy, you want to kill mommy? I hear you have HIV. He said, when? Me, no. That one really was unfortunate. We are not there. Even if we were, it's all right. Now on guns, that is just a total cover-up of many things. If you are supported by about 12 people with SFC.
No, we are not certified. And our humble prayer, Honorable Chair and Honorable members of this commission, we need investigations. We need investigations. We need investigations. I know the IGG reports before this committee. Kind employ her and their team. Let this matter be investigated. Because what has been said, there is no investigations, there is no what, but the file was opened. There is a case reference. We are ready to give our statements on this matter. Altogether, members, you have mentioned, there is one who touches everybody. The people you represent are suffering. You are people's representatives. 215 files have been closed unceremoniously. So what answer are you going to give to your voters, my senior in Nakawa? That what happened to your files? So it IGG investigate this matter of the conclusive end. Everybody is willing to make a statement. Okay. Then another one, the name appears. Someone asked about Pauline Nansamba. She's the director, Mutumba. She came in with the chair. For me, I found her there. She came in as a PA, but I think by the time I came in, she was a senior human rights officer, HR, but she has moved from human rights to principal. Now she's a director, then the acting director of another department, then the chairperson of the contracts committee, then the chairperson of the freight committee. So she's everything in the UHRC. That is the fact, and nobody should hide away from it. Okay, another point, Honorable Chair, and answered. Then someone asked that suppose, Honorable members, you the free petitioners, if you are involved in these travels, would there be anything for you to complain? Sir, there is a lot. We are not complaining because we have been excluded for the travels, sir. We have traveled, but there is a lot. For example, the NSSF fund. We are the chairperson. By the time she came in, it was not eligible to access the NSSF because it was 56. But we forced the commission to contribute to her for 4 years. That is on record. Altogether, the issue of salary increment, it is this committee, Honorable Chair, which approved the 10.4 billion. Out of the 10.4 billion, 2 billion was a salary enhancement. But that money was divided without our knowledge. To the best of my knowledge, I know Parliament is not which has the mandate to divide the salary for commissions. I hope they are correct. But it's our chairperson and other people sat somewhere and divided the money. Oh, that one is in our, what is in our report? Oh, I beg your pardon? Well, yes, I was, but the way it was done.
So it just gives you enough.
Which is enough. So someone has said that before you lodged these petitions, was there any internal mechanism which you employed members? There were so many. It is on record, and you can call the minutes of that. The last commission meeting on Monday, 9th March 2026. I went on record. These honorable members can be there with witness. I told my chairperson that can we solve these internal issues internally? Can we first have an internal mechanism among ourselves? The way my sister, it was a negative response. Not once, not twice, not once, not twice. We the petitioners, we have met our line minister, Honorable Norbert Mao, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. And we said, please, can you come and have a meeting with us? We have requested the chairperson, can you call the minister to come? We have not interacted with him. But even these issues, we have managed to bring them to his what? To his attention. So the one of our Gigi have answered. And members for according us this opportunity to interface with you. And we are very grateful for your fellow member, Honorable Seung, for having raised this matter on the floor of Parliament, and then the Speaker gave instructions. Honorable member, as my colleague has mentioned, we are 6 commissioners, but 3 of us, myself, Honorable Basais and Honorable Jacqueline, we observed that the commission was not moving in the right direction. And as a result of that, first of all, we approached the head of State House Anti-Corruption Unit, General Henry Isoke, and I advised that please write to the appointing authority. At the same time, we approached the Director General Internal Security Organization, said this is what happening in the commission. He told us please write to the appointing authority. So we wrote to the President and the dossiers here. After that, we advised that that is not enough. Please go ahead and write the Inspector General of Government. Wrote the Inspector General of Government. She called us, 3 of us. We went and had a meeting with her. We explained everything and we presented a document. On that day, honorable members, the IGG opened up a file. Was your permission,
Honorable Simeo? Honorable Simeo.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Stephen has told us the same information.
And that's what I was coming to answer now.
Okay.
When you're asking that, where are the facts? We have the documents here. The dossier to the President and the dossier to IGG. Honorable Chair, was your permission, allow us to tell you the truth. Because we are here to speak the truth. And the Bible says, speak the truth,
allowed
the
you
truth will save
already.
you.
That's why we gave you the microphone to tell us.
So, kindly allow us to go word by word, paragraph by paragraph,
thank you. Just
sentence
start
by
on that.
sentence,
We would love
telling
that.
you what is happening in the commission. Thanks a lot, Honorable Chair and members. Excellency, the President is dated the 12th of February 2026. It is addressed to His Excellency General Retired Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda and National Chairman of NRM. From Commissioners of Uganda Mass Commission, Honorable Simeo Nsubuga, Honorable Colonel Retired Stephen Basaliza, and Honorable Jacqueline Atwairwe Rwabukuruku. Subject: threat to government image due to gross corruption in Uganda Mass Commission by the Chairperson, Mariam Wangandya, and Commissioner Crispin Kahel. Your Excellency, as your cadres appointed to serve on your behalf at the Uganda Mass Commission, UHRC, we have authored the report to bring to your attention serious concerns about the corruption within UHRC, which poses a significant threat to Uganda's national image. Brief overview. Background. The Uganda Mass Commission Act provides for the establishment of the Uganda Mass Commission in pursuit to Article 51(1) and 58 of the Constitution
And Section 4 of the UHRC Act provides that the chairperson shall be a head of the commission, be responsible for the direction of the affairs and administration of the commission, and supervise the work of the secretary. On the other hand, Section 9, subsection 3 provides that, subject to the powers of the chairperson under Section 4 and the general control of the commission, the secretary shall be responsible for carrying out the policy decisions of the commission and day-to-day administration and management of the commission. B, be responsible for arranging the business for and recording of the minutes of all of the decisions and proceedings of the commission at its meetings. And C, perform any other functions assigned to him or her by the commission. Section 12 in Section 4 of the Act has been abused and misused to render members of the commission, the secretary, and the staff voiceless. It has facilitated the autocratic governance style of the chairperson to thrive and rendering all the other people voiceless. Operating at the policy level, the chairperson is expected to have eyes on and hands off on the day-to-day management of the commission, and yet embrace all other members to give strategic guidance to the commission. But this is not the case in the commission. The misinterpretation and misapplication of the provisions of the law has resulted into dictatorship and acts of impunity in the commission, purported by the chairperson and supported by Commissioner Crispin Kaheru and a few staff with whom they work with. Effects of the misuse of the above provisions on the operations of the commission. Members of the commission have been excluded from both local, regional, international strategic engagements and other routine activities, such as stakeholders' engagements, as well as scrutinizing the budgets to facilitate strategic decisions making by the commission. While the accounting officer, director of finance and administration, and other staff have been coerced into submission to the authorization and dictatorial rule of the chairperson, and other staff have been forced to resign, others blacklisted and accused of insubordination, lack of loyalty to the institution, while others have been labeled anti-government or opposition. At the same time, others have been threatened with non-renewal of contracts or contract termination. For survival, some staff have resorted to seeking favors through falsely accusing others and advising all members appeasing the chairperson in order to survive. The chairperson asserts that her office interacts with high-profile stakeholders and handles sensitive matters, which require special desk and funding. Hence, the allocation of a budget for stakeholder engagements under the office of the chairperson. So asserts that the funding should not be subjected to any scrutiny by the staff of the Directorate of Finance and Administration and Accounting. That amounts to the remuneration of the chairperson, and using the chairperson to a mere beggar. Yet the chairperson deals with high-profile stakeholders and handles sensitive issues. Resulting from the above situation, Honorable Chair and members, it was therefore directed that all funds under the office of the chairperson should be paid in advance or to the personal account of the personal assistant without any scrutiny or questioning by the accounting officer or any finance staff. In trying to maintain a strong internal control system and instilling financial discipline, the accounting officer has been subjected to extensive threats, coercion, intimidation, branded incompetent. Subsequently, the roles of the secretary accounting officer was split between the two junior staff in order to pave a way for further impunity. Honorable Chair and members, the commission planner was specifically assigned the roles pertaining to the administration, human resource management, finance, and the coordination of the commission affairs. In a letter dated 3rd November 2025, the chairperson directed the commission planner
to report directly to her. This has entrenched impunity and paved the way for budget manipulation and empowering the planner to work on the budget under close supervision of the chairperson. Assisted by Commissioner Crispin Kaheru and Director, Complaints and Investigation and Legal Affairs, Pauline Nansamba. Honorable Chair and members, budget manipulation never existed in UHRC until December 2024, when additional funding of Uganda shillings 10.4 billion was received. The funding was meant to boost human rights activities through it took the personal effort of the Honorable Chairperson, who now feels she should be the one, who now feels that she should use the funds the way she wants. The accounting officer, members, or any other person should have no say because they not mobilize the resources. To the additional funding was to enable the Commission meaningfully participate in regional and international engagements to defend the human rights record of the country and to defend the A status of Uganda Mass Commission, a prestigious status which puts UHRC among the top rated and respected human rights institutions regionally and internationally. Honorable Chair and members, UHRC holds the A status since its inception, but it is the brink of losing it. Participation of UHRC in Geneva Global Alliance of National Human Rights Institutions was suspended. The budgets for international travels managed, controlled, and used by the chairperson, mainly for personal aggrandizement, together with her favors people, Commissioner Crispin Kaheru and Ms. Pauline Nansamba. While it is clearly indicated in the approved budget that is travel for chairperson, members, and staff of the Commission, the user department cost center remains an office of the chairperson that determines the specific categories of people that must travel under budget line. Honorable Chairperson and members, during the budget implementation, payments are demanded with a high level of impunity that undermine corporate governance principles practical in any civilized environment. The members and a few staff are nominated to trips that are sponsored by organizers and receive no facilitation from the Commission. Yet available funds are ring-fenced by the budget handler for the selected few. In the year 2024-2025, the financial members, Uganda Cents 280 million was released, and in the financial year 2025-2026, Uganda Cents 400 million was released. Below are some of the trips and beneficiaries benefited by the cost center. United Kingdom and USA in January 2025. Chairperson, 32,412,000. Commissioner Crispin Kaheru, 32,412,000. Nansamba Porini, 28,860,000. Visa, Uganda Cents 2,100,000. Air ticket, 169,736,200 Uganda Cents. Top up for the UK and USA trips. Chairperson, 5,402,000. Commissioner Crispin Kaheru, 5,402,000. Nansamba Porini, 4,810,000. Visa fee, 1,380,000. Trip to Nairobi, November 2028. Chairperson, Uganda Cents 10,804,000. Commissioner Crispin Kaheru, 11,134,999. Pauline Nansamba, 10,838,000. Dolini Mukunyu Nabata, 4,995,000.
Honorable members, we have those figures for those of you.
Chairman and members, I was in the middle of apologizing to the country for the language I used, which is which I said is beneath my character. I'm sorry to all those I offended, but please know I had been pushed to the edge. The people who know me know that that is not my character. I recognize my Member of Parliament for Nakawa East, Senior Counsel. Congratulations, my own. Honorable members, the institution I head has the widest mandate under the Constitution. Article 52 refers. This Article 52 lists not fewer than 9 responsibilities or tasks of the Uganda Human Rights Commission. In addition to these, there are others which may arise under the state of emergency. Today, honorable members, I should be attending to these functions. I should be supervising investigations. I should be reading files. I should be writing decisions or rulings. I should be constituting panels for tribunal sessions. Today, Mr. Chairman, I should be in the field hosting barazas, talking to refugees, interacting with stakeholders. I should be hosting press conferences talking about the major human rights issues of the day. I should be convening commission meetings. But, Chairman, I have spent the past 5 months fielding questions and defending myself before every media house in Uganda. I have spent the past 5 months telling them that I am not in hiding, that there is no investigation on me, that I am not a thief. I have spent the past 5 months telling journalists that I'm not in exile, that I'm not on the run, and that we Ugandans no longer go to exile, but instead receive and host millions of refugees. I have spent the last 5 months being terrorized by the media, receiving calls from friends and relatives who comfort me, and from haters who tell me to go to hell. I spend all my time worrying about posts on X, on TikTok, and other social media platforms. Mr. Chairman, I now have to defend myself before committees of Parliament. So far, I have received at least three invitations to appear before 3 different committees of Parliament. All the invitations arrived in 2 days. One of them required me to appear the next day. Mr. Chairman, none of those invitations is about the current human rights issues. They are all about responding to false and petty accusations. This is really sad. In addition to the Commission's mandate under Article 52 of the Constitution, Section 4 of the Uganda Human Rights Commission says, I quote, "The chairperson shall be the head of the Commission, be responsible for the direction of the affairs and for administration of the Commission, and monitor and supervise the work of the Secretary." I quote. I have been taken away from these roles. My full-time job now is to defend myself against baseless, malicious, and defamatory accusations. Meanwhile, the work of at least 3 members of the Commission, that is half of the Commission, is to conspire against the chairperson and one of their colleagues, to orchestrate a smear campaign against her, to place defamatory stuff in the media, to lodge baseless complaints against her at every investigative agency on the land, to report her to the President, to the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, to the Attorney General, to Parliament, and do anything and everything to destroy her. Their constitutional mandate is irrelevant to them. The meetings they clamor for are not for work. They are intended to avail them a forum to humiliate, to harass, and taunt the chairperson. I ask, where is the value for money for the Ugandan taxpayer? Honorable members, you live in this country. You have watched and listened for yourselves to the psychological terror I, Commissioner Kaheru and the staff members suffer every day. Yesterday, you hosted here members of the commission. You listened to each one of them. You heard and witnessed the disrespect, contempt, hatred, and vitriol they harbor for me, their leader. You saw their demeanor. You heard their pettiness. I invite you just for a second to try to imagine what our meetings look like. Honorable Chairman and members, I was a member of the Uganda Human Rights Commission for 17 years. I actually was part of the Pioneer Commission. I worked under two different chairpersons, Mrs. Sekaja, the Pioneer Chairperson, and the late Hadi Medikagwa. I could never have imagined that a head of institution could be bullied, humiliated, harassed and taunted and disrespected, more so to that extent. I worked under Justice Irene Wangandya, then Inspector General of Government, for 8 years. I cannot fathom that we, her deputies, could ever have done to her anything near to what is being done to me. I have been a single mother to my son since he was 3 weeks old. Soon he will be 30 years old. He has a toddler son and a wife, and I'm their sole breadwinner. By the time a woman in my situation picks a pen, places it on paper, and writes a letter resigning her job,
Chairman, maybe we can have a procedure.
Chairman, we have some procedural issues.
Let the chairperson finish making her submission before we chip in.
she must be in unimaginable agony. On behalf of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, as currently constituted, I apologize to His Excellency the President, to this Parliament, and to all the people of Uganda and all stakeholders. We have let you down.
Generators, you as a commissioner, whether the donated generators and the ones that were donated to you or both, whether they ended up in people's houses. Yes, he will give. Now, the question again, I think, is on Mr. Kaheru. What is, because you're saying that all is well, what is your take regarding not meeting for 4 months? And how are you operating? How are the operations being done internally? The last one on the issue that, yes, I want you to brief us. The issues regarding, the issue has been raised of whether you know about it or not. The 77 million that were given to the commission by the Chinese. And you also tell us the issue to deal with, whether there are monies that are being spent regarding to that one. I can ask to the chair when now he comes. To Jackret, I want you to tell us on whether you think that this commission should be disbanded and everyone goes home. We look for Ugandans who can do this work, because at the end of the day, yes, I've seen suggestions, because whatever is being seen here, I can see you people are trying to salvage. You're trying to whistleblow, but the Ugandans are asking themselves, especially when you look at such complaints, and the complaints are being dismissed. And I have looked at, Chair,